Hi, I'm Lance Loken with the Loken Group.
And I'm Karina Loken with the Loken Group. Wow, 2020, it has sure been an interesting year, to say the least, right? You know, the real estate market is impacted by so many factors, and this year we sure did see a few major events that impacted the real estate market here in our area. Lance, why don't you share with everybody some major events that definitely shaped the greater Houston area real estate market for us?
Sure, you know, COVID really did have a massive impact on us. In March, Texas was shut down around March 19th, and then in Harris County specifically, we had the stay-at-home put into effect March 24th. Fortunately for us, the stay-at-home did not affect us because we were considered essential services. However, there was a lot of businesses that were impacted because of that. So the COVID pandemic in Houston, we lost over 350,200 jobs in just March and April alone. The good news is we've recovered 50.4% of those jobs at 173,600. So that's real good news for us today. In fact, we hit record highs for the month of October. We have added 30,000 new jobs in the month of October, which is fantastic news to get us to the 50.4%. Also, unemployment rose higher in those first couple of months in the pandemic than it did in the 2 years of the Great Recession, jumping to 14.7% by April from the low of 3.5% in February. Man, 3.5%, that, I can't even recall that.
Unreal.
And it was just in February. Travel and hospitality unemployment jumped to 40%, while transportation and retail also saw unemployment rates in the high as 20%. Now, the unemployment rate is down to 6.9%, so we've recovered quite a bit, which is fantastic news. Now, from a home standpoint, the available homes today is down 27.5%, or 10,440 homes from a year ago at this exact same time. That is huge because we haven't seen that low of inventory since at least 2003. I was able to go back and look all the way to 2003, have not seen inventory levels that low. The good news as well is that there's lots of buyers out there looking to purchase homes. In fact, pendings are up 35.9%, or 5,232 homes from last year at this time. What's wild about that is roughly 1/3 of the homes that were on the market a month ago are under contract, just to put that into perspective.
Yeah, wow. You know, we talk about these numbers quite a bit, and each time I hear them, it just makes me so thankful that we're here in Houston for sure. And just like you mentioned, one of the biggest impacts on our real estate market this year was definitely those incredibly low interest rates that so many buyers, obviously with the numbers that you quoted, have certainly taken advantage of. So with us today, we're excited to have Kelly Rogers with the Kelly Rogers team at Movement Mortgage provide some expert mortgage information for us. Kelly, what kind of activity did the mortgage industry see this year, and what factors came into play with regards to home loan applications?
Yes, 2020 has been an extraordinary year for us in so many ways, and not only related to the pandemic. I know that when first quarter was ending, we all thought that the real estate industry and the mortgage industry was really going to ground to a halt. But quite the contrary, interest rates stayed low and in fact reduced, and people were pretty much spending a lot of time in their homes. And like you guys know, spending time in your home makes you realize that one, you might want a larger home or a smaller home. You might want something with more land. And so we saw the real estate market really heat up. And with rates going as low as they did, the refinance market heated up. And so you just saw this perfect storm of the mortgage industry just blowing through the roof. It was a record year, very unprecedented year, unexpected. And in order for our government to ensure that the economy stayed afloat through all this, one of the things that they did is they kept interest rates low. And then we watched them go even lower, which worked to the benefit to you and all of your clients, because with lower interest rates, it provided more buying power. And so we've all finished off the year with an extraordinary amount of families that we've assisted all throughout our industry and all throughout the country because of the lower interest rates and because of people's desire to do something.
The CARES Act, which was signed into law in March of this year, provided a number of protections to homeowners who were unable to pay their mortgages. What can we expect to see happen over the next 6 to 12 months?
The CARES Act came into play and played such a substantial part of the survival and people thriving through this time. It allowed so many people to be able to continue to live in their homes while pulling back the requirement for them to make their payments. They either deferred or they went into what was called a forbearance. While that did help people, it didn't eliminate that debt for our homeowners across the country. That was essentially a way of kicking the can down the road. So now, as we're wrapping up 6 months and beyond past the initiation of the CARES Act, we're seeing people that are beginning to have to go into repayment plans for those items. I fully expect that by the end of this year, beginning of 2021, that you're going to see an extension of the CARES Act in some form or fashion. But I think that as a whole in our industries, we're going to have to help our homeowners determine how they're going to walk through this process of getting back used to making their mortgage payments and putting themselves into a position where they can make up those past payments that weren't made.
With home prices continuing to rise, what can you tell buyers about recent changes to home loan limits?
One of the great things that happened in this unexpected surge of home buying and selling is that home prices went up because it's a supply and demand. And so as there were more buyers out there looking than there were homes available, home prices surged. We've watched multiple offer situations for people. Gosh, we've seen 30 offers on some houses when some of our clients are trying to negotiate to win. So it's pretty impactful to the industry. It's caused home prices to go up, which fortunately the government came back. We saw Fannie Mae and FHA and VA loan limits increase this year. We saw the loan limits go up to $542,850, which is a substantial amount. It allows somebody who's purchasing nearly a $600,000 home be able to walk in and put 3 to 5% down on it, whereas before they would have been in a jumbo situation. It's a great impact to us because it does allow clients to take advantage of 1, lower interest rates, and 2, higher loan limits. So compared to a year ago, they're able to purchase a more expensive home at a lower interest rate, which it gets them into a higher price point, maybe elevates them into a nicer neighborhood than what they were expecting to, and their payment's even lower than what they would have been expecting to pay a year ago.
We know that the pandemic isn't going away anytime soon. So what else should homeowners or buyers know about mortgages and interest rates as we look ahead to 2021?
I think as we evolve through this pandemic, it's a time for us to look to history to determine what the future is going to be. I do think that interest rates are going to continue to stay low through 2021, even with an administration change in the executive office. I think that you are going to continue to see a shortage of availability of homes for home buyers. I think having a pre-approval letter from your mortgage lender and a great realtor in your corner is going to be key. And I think for sellers, you've got to be prepared that you're going to have multiple offer situations. So having that right realtor in your corner to price your home right is going to be imperative. I do expect rates to stay low. I don't know that they're going to stay as low as they are currently. Currently, rates are just at historically low rates, and it seems funny to say that because we've been saying that for 5 years now, but we're at the lowest that we've been in these 5 years. So we are at historically low periods, and I think that we're going to continue to see low interest rates. I just don't think that they're going to stay as low as they are. At some point, the the Fed is going to have to allow interest rates to continue to get back to a more normalized level, because currently they are artificially low. They're being held down low by the federal, by the feds.
Thank you, Kelly. And as you heard, interest rates will continue to be low for 2021 as we look ahead for next year. We know that we will have a healthy impact on our real estate market. In fact, with interest rates as low as they are and inventory levels as low as they are, we're going to see it be a seller's market for the next year to possibly 2 years. Also, the economy is going to come back in such a robust manner, at least that's what the forecasters are stating, especially during the summer and fall of 2021. Also, it appears like oil and gas is going to start to see a rebound. In fact, recently, it's already increased about $5 a barrel, up to $45 a barrel. So hopefully, we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Wow, thank you, Lance. Man, it looks like 2021 will be a phenomenal year for real estate. So if you're thinking about buying or selling or even investing in real estate, we'd love to be your real estate solution and team of choice. Please give us a call at 281-861-4624 or visit us at thelokengroup.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
And thank you for trusting us to be your real estate solution.